The best road cycling tyres. In this video we'll discover what are the best all-round tyres for road cycling, and we'll find out how to work out whether the ones you're using are any good. Most of us cyclists want two things from a tyre. We want a low rolling resistance, so it's faster for the same effort, and we don't want to puncture. But how do we work that out? Well, we don't have to, because someone is doing that for us. Jarno Bierman is a chap in the Netherlands, and he runs a website which tests bicycle tyres. BicycleRollingResistance.com started in 2014 and is now packed with data. Tests are carried out on a rolling resistance test machine with a simulated road. A separate machine calculates puncture resistance in the sidewall and the base tread of the tyre. So what is the best all-round road tyre? The answer is this: Continental GP 5000. Jarno even wrote a summary of the best road tyres and concludes this one comes very close to the fastest tyres in both speed and weight without sacrificing the anti-puncture strip and the thickness of the tread. So that's it. That's the best all-round road tyre. But there is more. If you're running tubeless, still unusual on a road bike, again, it's the GP5000's, the TL version. We'll talk about the fastest and most puncture-resistant tyres in a moment. I contacted Jarno to check it was okay to do a video about his website and share a little of the publicly accessible data. He asked me to make clear, just because a tyre is not recommended on his site does not mean it's no good, it just means he hasn't yet tested it. And he asked me not to share the deeper level of data. That is reserved for pro-level members. But since it costs just £7 a year, I think it's worth paying. It could save you much more than that in tyres. As you can see, the tyre rolling resistance is tested at different pressures, and the resistance measured in watts, so a lower wattage number is better. Resistance data at 80 and 60 psi is reserved for pro members. The puncture resistance takes sharp and blunt objects into account and gives a total score for the tread and the sidewall, although the sidewall is a pro measurement. Now here's an example. One of the worst tested is the Vittoria Zafiro Pro, and the spider chart shows how it stacks up compared to other road tyres. On this side, the rolling resistance of 15 watts is decent, as is the tread puncture protection of 56. But there's low sidewall protection of just 9. The conclusion is the key bit: 2 out of 5, not recommended. Now compare that to the Continental GP5000s I mentioned earlier. The spider chart is bigger, so more bases are covered. 10 watts rolling resistance, so it loses less effort. There's slightly lower tread puncture protection, but it's higher on the sidewall. And it's one of several tyres to score 5 out of 5 and be highly recommended. Now, if you just want to go fast, you need to get some Michelin Power Time Trial tyres and put latex tubes in them, which make them even faster. At the opposite end of the scale, most of us want our training tyres to be more puncture resistant. We're happy to sacrifice a bit of weight and rolling resistance to not end up standing by the side of the road in the rain. For this winter, I've been running Schwalbe Durano DDs, and I've been perfectly happy with them, not had any punctures. So in that regard, they've worked for me. So I was surprised to look them up and find they scored just 2 out of 5 and are not recommended. Their rolling resistance isn't that high for a tyre like this, but their puncture resistance is relatively low. Compare it to the top tyre in this class, Continental's Gator Hardshell, which outperforms the Schwalbe Durano DDs in both tread and sidewall puncture resistance. Now, there is so much in this website. I feel I've only just scratched the surface. If you are interested in cycling, I think it's worth taking a long look at BicycleRollingResistance.com. My next task will be to work out which are the best all-round gravel tyres, but because of the differences in wheel size and differences in tread pattern for different uses, I suspect that will be an awful lot more complicated. In the meantime, I really would appreciate a thumbs up, please, and we will see you next time.